Hey there, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something that could directly impact your monthly Social Security check in 2026. The Social Security Administration has updated their earnings limits, and if you're not aware of these changes, you could see your benefits reduced without warning. But don't worry, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to protect your hard-earned benefits. Before we get started, let me be clear about who this information applies to: Social Security retirement beneficiaries. That's the largest group receiving Social Security benefits, and if that's you, this video is essential viewing. We're not talking about disability benefits or survivor benefits today, just retirement benefits. Now, I know rules and regulations can sound boring, but trust me, understanding these particular rules could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars in 2026. So stick with me, and by the end of this discussion, you'll know exactly where you stand and how to plan accordingly. Every Social Security retirement beneficiary falls into one of three distinct categories when it comes to the earnings test. Understanding which group you're in is absolutely crucial because the rules are dramatically different for each one. Let's break them down. Group 1. Early retirees under full retirement age. The first group includes anyone who started collecting Social Security retirement benefits before reaching their full retirement age and who will not reach that milestone during 2026. We're talking about people roughly between ages 62 and 66 and a half. This is actually a massive group. We're talking about tens of millions of Americans who claimed their benefits early. If this describes your situation, you need to understand what's called the earnings test. Now, I'll be honest, the name isn't particularly descriptive, but that's the official term the Social Security Administration uses. Here's what you need to know. If you're earning income from a job while collecting Social Security, you're allowed to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But, and this is a big but, there are limits to how much you can earn before your benefits get reduced. For 2026, that limit has been set at $24,480 for the entire year. Break that down monthly, and you're looking at about $2,040 per month on average. Now, you might be thinking, what if I earn more than that? Can I still work? Absolutely. You can work and earn as much as you want. However, here's where it gets important. For every $2 you earn above that threshold, the Social Security Administration will withhold $1 from your monthly benefit. Let me give you a concrete example to make this crystal clear. Let's say you have a part-time job and over the course of the year, you earn $26,480. That's $2,000 over the limit. What happens? Social Security will reduce your benefits by $1,000 for that year. They'll literally withhold $1,000 from your monthly checks to account for the overage. Now, before you panic, let me tell you the good news. This money isn't gone forever. It's not a penalty in the traditional sense. Once you reach your full retirement age down the road, the Social Security Administration will recalculate your monthly benefit amount. They'll essentially give you credit for those withheld benefits, and you'll see a slight increase in your monthly payments going forward to make up for what was withheld. But here's the thing. You won't see that money back immediately. You'll get it slowly over time through slightly higher monthly benefits after you reach full retirement age. So if you need that money now, which most people do, you want to be very careful about staying under that earnings threshold. Let me also clarify what counts as earnings for this test. We're talking about earned income, money you receive in exchange for work you perform. This includes wages from a job, whether hourly or salaried, and self-employment income. What doesn't count? Pension payments, investment income, dividends, rental income, interest, or annuity payments. Those don't factor into the earnings test at all. You can have unlimited amounts of that type of income without any impact on your Social Security benefits. Group 2, reaching full retirement age in 2026. The second group consists of people who will reach their full retirement age at some point during 2026. For most people in this category, your full retirement age is 66 years and 10 months. Generally speaking, if you were born in 1959, you're probably in this group. This is a unique situation because you're in a transition year. You haven't reached full retirement age yet at the start of the year, but you will before the year ends. The Social Security Administration recognizes this and treats you differently. For the months leading up to the month in which you reach full retirement age, there's a different earnings limit, and it's significantly more generous. For 2026, that limit is $65,160. But here's the critical detail. This isn't for the full calendar year. It's specifically for the months before you reach full retirement age. Let me illustrate with an example. Suppose you're going to hit full retirement age in September 2026, during the months of January through August, the 8 months before you hit that milestone. You could earn up to $65,160 without any benefit reduction. That works out to about $5,430 per month, which gives you considerably more earning power than Group 1. But what happens if you earn more than that threshold? Similar to Group 1, you'll see a reduction in benefits, but the formula is more favorable. For every $3 you earn over the limit, Social Security will withhold $1 from your benefits. So if you earned $66,060 during those months leading up to your full retirement age, that's $900 over the limit, they would withhold $300 from your benefits. Again, not a permanent loss. Once you reach full retirement age, they'll recalculate and eventually give you credit for those withheld amounts through higher monthly payments. And here's the really good news. The moment you reach your full retirement age, even if it's in the middle of the year, the earnings test completely disappears. From that month forward, you can earn as much as you want with zero impact on your Social Security benefits. Group 3, already at full retirement age. The third and final group includes everyone who has already reached their full retirement age before 2026 begins. If you're 67 or older, or if you reached your full retirement age anytime in 2025 or earlier, you're in this category. The news here is simple and wonderful. There is no earnings test for you. None. Zero. You can earn $50,000, $100,000, or $500,000 from working, and it won't reduce your Social Security benefits by a single penny. You have complete freedom to earn as much or as little as you choose without any impact whatsoever on your monthly Social Security check. Many people in this group choose not to work at all. They're living off Social Security and other retirement income like pensions or investment accounts. That's perfectly fine. Others continue working either because they enjoy it, need the income, or both. Either way, the earnings test is completely off the table once you've reached full retirement age. Now that you understand the three groups and the rules that apply to each, let's talk about practical decision making. Because knowing the rules is one thing, but figuring out what to do with that information is another. First, let me be absolutely clear. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Everyone's financial situation is unique, and you need to make decisions based on your specific circumstances. But I can help you think through some scenarios. If you're in Group 1 or Group 2 and you're working, my suggestion is to track your earnings carefully throughout the year. You don't want to accidentally go over the limit and then be surprised when Social Security starts withholding benefits. Many people don't realize they've exceeded the threshold until they get a notice from Social Security, and by then, the withholding has already begun. Consider working with your employer to adjust your hours or income if you're getting close to the limit. Maybe you can take some time off in December or shift some work into the following year. The key is to be proactive rather than reactive. But here's where I want to introduce some nuance. What if you have an extraordinary opportunity to earn significantly more money? I'm talking about a situation where you could earn $10,000, $20,000, or even more above the threshold. Maybe it's a special project, a consulting opportunity, or a temporary position that pays exceptionally well. In that case, my perspective changes. Yes, you'll have some benefits withheld in the short term, but remember, you'll eventually get that money back through higher monthly payments after you reach full retirement age. And in the meantime, you've put yourself in a much better financial position by earning that additional income, money you can save, invest, or use to pay off debt. Let's do the math on a hypothetical scenario. Say you're in Group 1 and you have an opportunity to earn an extra $10,000 beyond the threshold. Yes, Social Security will withhold $5,000 from your benefits that year, but you've still netted an additional $5,000 that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Plus, you'll eventually recoup that $5,000 in withheld benefits through future increases. The point is, don't let fear of the earnings test prevent you from seizing genuinely good financial opportunities. The temporary withholding isn't the end of the world, especially if you're earning substantially more than what's being withheld. On the other hand, if you're only going to earn $1,000 or $2,000 over the limit, you need to ask yourself if it's worth it. You'd only see half that amount after the withholding in Group 1 or 2/3 in Group 2, and you'd have the hassle of dealing with the recalculation process later. In that case, it might make more sense to simply stay under the threshold. Let's talk about some additional factors that many people don't consider when it comes to the earnings test. Timing your retirement. If you're thinking about claiming Social Security benefits but you're still working, timing matters enormously. Many people don't realize that claiming at 62 while still earning a substantial income can result in losing most or all of their benefits to the earnings test. In some cases, it makes more sense to delay claiming until you've stopped working or reduced your hours significantly. Self-employment income. If you're self-employed, the earnings test can be trickier to navigate. Your net earnings from self-employment count toward the limit, but there are some special rules about how and when those earnings are counted, especially in your first year of retirement. If you're self-employed, I strongly recommend speaking with a Social Security representative to understand exactly how your specific situation will be treated. Changing jobs or income mid-year. What happens if you start the year thinking you'll stay under the earnings limit, but then you get a raise, change jobs, or have an unexpected increase in income? The Social Security Administration does allow you to report changes and adjust your benefits accordingly. It's better to be upfront about these changes rather than waiting until the end of the year, because they may withhold benefits more aggressively if they think you've exceeded the limit. State and local taxes. Remember, while we're talking about federal Social Security rules, you also need to consider how your benefits might be taxed at the federal and potentially state level. Earning more income could push you into a situation where a larger portion of your Social Security benefits becomes taxable. That's a separate issue from the earnings test, but it's something to keep in mind when planning. The grace year. Here's something many people don't know about. In your first year of retirement, there's something called a grace year rule that works a little differently. Even if your total earnings for the year exceed the annual limit, you can still receive your full Social Security benefit for any whole month you're retired and earning under a monthly limit. This monthly limit is 1/12 of the annual limit. This special rule only applies in the first year you retire and only to months where you're under the monthly threshold. Let's talk about what actually happens if you do exceed the earnings limit, because understanding the mechanics can help you plan better. First, how does Social Security find out about your earnings? They receive information from the IRS about your income. You also have a responsibility to report your earnings to Social Security, especially if you think you might exceed the limit. There's actually a form you can submit to estimate your earnings for the year, which helps Social Security adjust your benefits appropriately rather than making you pay back money later. If you do go over the earnings limit, Social Security won't just take money out of your bank account. Instead, they'll withhold future benefit payments. Typically, they'll start withholding your benefits at the beginning of the year if they have reason to believe you'll exceed the limit based on your previous year's earnings or your reported estimated earnings. For example, if you're in Group 1 and Social Security determines you'll have $3,000 withheld throughout the year based on your expected earnings, they might withhold your entire benefit for 1.5 months or take a portion from several months' payments. The exact method can vary. What if you didn't report your earnings properly and Social Security later discovers you were overpaid? In that case, you may receive a notice stating that you've been overpaid and they want the money back. You can either pay it back in a lump sum or have them withhold it from future benefits. There are also appeal processes if you disagree with their determination. This is why I can't stress enough the importance of being proactive. Report your earnings estimates, update Social Security if your situation changes, and keep good records of your income throughout the year. The earnings limits typically increase each year to account for inflation and wage growth. The $24,480 limit for 2026 is up from what it was in 2025, and we can expect it to continue rising in 2027, 2028, and beyond. If you're in Group 1 now, you won't be there forever. Each year you get closer to your full retirement age. Eventually, you'll move into Group 2 for that transition year, and then finally into Group 3 where there's no earnings test at all. Understanding this progression can help you plan your work and income strategy for the long term. Some people choose to limit their work hours in their early 60s, specifically to stay under the earnings test threshold, knowing that once they reach full retirement age, they can ramp up their work again without any penalty. Others decide to delay claiming Social Security altogether until they reach full retirement age, allowing them to work as much as they want without worrying about the earnings test and potentially allowing their benefit amount to grow through delayed retirement credits. Let me wrap this up with some clear action steps you can take right now. Step 1, determine which of the 3 groups you fall into for 2026. Are you under full retirement age and staying there all year? Will you reach full retirement age during the year, or have you already reached it? Step 2. If you're in Group 1 or 2, calculate your expected earnings for 2026. Include all wages and self-employment income. Don't include pensions, investments, or other non-work income. Step 3. Compare your expected earnings to the applicable threshold. $24,480 for Group 1 or $65,160 for the months before reaching full retirement age for Group 2. Step 4. If you're close to or over the limit, decide on a strategy. Will you adjust your work schedule, accept the withholding because the opportunity is too good to pass up, or perhaps delay claiming benefits if you haven't started yet? Step 5. Report your estimated earnings to Social Security if you expect to exceed the limit. You can do this online, by phone, or by visiting a Social Security office. This helps prevent overpayments and the headache of paying money back later. Step 6. Keep detailed records of your income throughout 2026 so you can adjust your strategy if needed and have documentation if questions arise. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to Social Security. These rules might seem complicated, but once you understand them, you can make informed decisions that maximize your financial security in retirement. The earnings test isn't designed to punish you for working. It's really about ensuring that Social Security benefits go to people who have truly retired or significantly reduced their work. And the fact that withheld benefits eventually come back to you through higher monthly payments shows that it's more of a timing issue than a permanent loss. Whatever your situation, take the time to understand where you stand, plan accordingly, and don't let fear or confusion prevent you from making the best decisions for your financial future. You've worked hard for your Social Security benefits, and you deserve to maximize them while also taking advantage of any work opportunities that make sense for your life. I hope this comprehensive guide has helped clarify the 2026 Social Security earnings test rules. Stay informed, plan ahead, and make the choices that work best for your unique situation. Here's to a financially secure and fulfilling 2026.